started waterfowl hunting when I was a teenager. Nothing beats sharing a blind with friends, family, and a good dog. Being in the business where I own and breed dogs, it allows me to go on hunts where you're not only showing off the hunter's skill in calling, as well as setting the decoy fields, but you get to show off the dog's skill in the field. When we partnered with Mobile Strong, I was really excited about getting their products out into the field. When Tim and Mike called and invited me on their yearly trip to Saskatchewan for a waterfowl hunt, I couldn't say no. Southern Saskatchewan, home of haunting prairies and rolling stubble. It is also right in the heart of the flight path for migratory waterfowl. Get ready for the most picturesque, action-filled hunt you've watched on outdoor TV.
Hey, pretty mama, go and grab the scattergun. Rommel's looking like he's got one more good run. His hips are a little shaky, but his heart's still true. Oh, how that dog loves hunting with me and you. Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy, run. Everything you need is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by Cabela's, Heavy Shot, Hadel's Game Calls, Conquest Scent Sticks, Hi-Vis, Liberty Safe, Headwater Seat Covers, Mr. Lid, Mobile Strong, Paw Print Genetics, the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism, Vanishing Paradise, Pheasants Forever, and Soggy Acres Retrievers. Our adventure starts with a black Labrador Retriever named Castle. I sold Mike LaRue of Mobile Strong Castle as a puppy and then finished up his training a couple months before the hunt. I had also worked with a Drothar named Nettie that was owned by Tim Skiba of Mobile Strong. It was really fun for me to get both these dogs out that I had for a couple of months this summer and watch them take to the field. The night before the hunt we scouted and this area was covered up with ducks. There were several ponds. We picked the one on the end of the field that would be clearly visible to all the working birds. We set up right in front of it. And once it got light out, it was clear we were on the X. Take them. Boy, we did a good job on those. Yep. Take them.
Here. Castle here.
Take them. Take them. Come here, buddy. This was Castle's first hunting trip, so it was a chance to see what we needed to work on. He did a nice job locating birds, but at times when really big groups came in, we had to take him out to help find birds in the field. He also had a few issues with leaving early, so we corrected that with our electric collar. Overall, I thought he was off to a great start. Take him. Shoot him. We got one. Last time I called it, we got three. Just saying. As the hunt progressed, we continued to work with Castle on some training issues, but overall, he was having a great day. Coming up in Sporting Dog Adventures, more high-flying, duck-cuffed action from Saskatchewan. This training tip is brought to you by Conquest Scent Sticks and these fine sponsors. On this week's training tip, we're going to teach Pickett here the concept of starting on the land, swimming through water, and then picking a retrieve up on land. A lot of times what people will do is use a reference point. They use a tree, a bush, something for the dogs to mark on, as this is a marking drill. What I like to do with a young dog is I start them out with a white bucket. The white bucket is something they can clearly see, it's visible, and it will pull the dog to the area you want where the retrieve is going to fall. So we're going to put our white bucket right here, head to the other side of the pond, and show you how to do it. Now that we're on the other side, you can clearly see the white bucket, and so can Pickett. So what we're going to do is throw our bumper into that general vicinity, and instead of him stopping at the water's edge because he thinks that the bumper has fallen closer, it'll pull him back up onto shore, and he'll be able to find the downed bird. As you can see, the bumper wasn't in plain view for him, but the bucket was. He actually drove out, went to the bucket, and found the bumper sitting right next to it. It taught him the concept of getting up onto the land and not stopping and searching right on the adjacent shoreline. Some dogs will pick this drill up really quickly. They'll figure out that what you want them to do is drive up on land, and it won't take many times. Other dogs might need a few extra repetitions. Once your dog has really good momentum and they understand the concept of getting up onto the land to their search for the fallen bird, you can remove the bucket and then start doing this drill without it. That's this week's training tip. Now back to the hunt. As our sunrise hunt continued, the backdrop was breathtaking. The color of the sky, along with the sight of ducks cupping up, looked like a scene out of a movie. I love the smell of a wet dog and gunpowder in the morning. Take him. Nice. Well, they're going to come right down the pike. Our faithful rescue dog, Brad Heidel, was in the process of making a great retrieve. When some geese started to work in, we gave him the command, he hit the deck. Shoot him. Having the geese gave our canine athletes some heavier groceries to carry and presented some new challenges in our hunt.
Shake him.
Our hunt was successful, ultimately because of the work we did the night before. We found a spot where the birds wanted to be, where they were feeding and they had roosted. We also had a great spot in front of a pond where we had cover to conceal us. They're high, let them go. As the day wore on, the birds continued to circle, but they wouldn't commit. we decided to make a change. So what we're doing now is we are moving our spinners back behind us because the birds were flaring a little on us. You want it right on the pond? Coming up on Sporting Dog Adventures, find out if our move pays off. And we also learn a great way to prepare duck in our Ladies' Corner. This segment of Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
And now it's time for Ladies' Corner.
Kate, we get a lot of waterfowl meat here, and today we're going to come up with a great recipe. You often hear about smoked duck, roast duck, and different recipes. Today, what are we going to make?
Duck fajitas.
I know a little later we have to put some aside because we have a captive audience that's being held out of the room right now, our 3 house dogs, and I think because they help in the field, they want to taste test as well.
Well, if they retrieved it, they should get to eat it.
We've got 2 really nice prepared duck breasts, and then we've got our vegetables, and we're going to put this all together. Explain to us how it's going to work. You're
going to use your cutting board to fillet the duck breast or julienne it into strips. Cut the strips so that they're going to cook thoroughly.
All right, so we got the meat all cut up. What do we have to do with the vegetables?
We have a couple different colors of peppers, and then we have onions. And usually with a fajita, we do a slice almost kind of similar to what you were doing with the duck. So it's not chunks or cubes, it's definitely slices.
So now that the veggies are done, we're going to start our meat. Do we want to start the meat before we put the vegetables in?
The meat will take considerably longer to cook. We'll add these in just a little bit.
What kind of seasoning we're going to use?
Nothing very hard to find, just a standard store type of taco seasoning product. After the taco seasoning, I like to add just a little of a coarse sea salt. And then the last thing you can put in is black pepper.
Now it's time to start adding the vegetables.
Yep, absolutely.
We keep a constant stir in the meat, just keep moving it around, vegetables so everything gets evenly heated.
Yep.
What are we cooking in?
We used an extra virgin olive oil. It has a little bit of flavor versus just a regular type of vegetable oil, and it's a little bit healthier. The tomatoes and the lettuce, there are cold toppings. We're not going to cook them. We're going to finish up with the hot meat and the vegetables, put those into the wrap, and then add these last. So now we're just going to fill the tortilla.
And we had this warmed.
We've already warmed them, yep. We're just going to put in the warm veggies first. And then we're just going to top it with the lettuce and tomato right basically before it's consumed.
And there you have it, duck fajitas.
A different way to prepare duck. That's this week's Ladies' Corner, and now back to the hunt.
Once we reset our decoys, we had to take the dogs out to clear the field. We knew we were close to our limit and wanted to see how many more birds we could take. It was also a great time to learn a little bit about Mobile Strong and their line of products. You started out, you had 3 basic models. You had your quail, you had your pheasant, and you had your truck model of your storage unit. And you guys have expanded. Could you explain it to us?
You bet. We have a new model. It's a high-density polyethylene product. It's recycled material, very sturdy, and it's more designed to be built for trucks and SUVs. There you need different size units to fit into them because our normal size units do not fit in those type of vehicles.
And you talk about, I guess you could coin a term, build-a-box. You can give dimensions and you guys will make a box specific to what someone's needs are.
All they have to do is tell us their length, depth, and width, and we'll build the box to that size.
Guys, check out their products, mobilestrong.net. They've got a great lineup and you can get it made directly for what your needs are. Shoot 'em. The duck action started to slow down, but geese started to fill the sky. We decided to do some flagging to see if we could pull a few more birds over before we called it a day. Smoke them. Good boy. That's a big bird. As a dog owner, trainer, and breeder, I love watching these animals in the field and do what they're bred to do. And now it's time for our Conservation Corner, presented by Vanishing Paradise.
Across our great country, many areas of productive wetlands provide vital habitat for fish and wildlife and are incredibly important to sportsmen and women. Nearly half of our nation's wetland habitat has been lost over the last 200 years. Water connects us all, and wetlands clean that water and provide habitat for fish and wildlife that we hunt and fish. Nowhere has this been felt harder than in coastal Louisiana. That's because this sportsman's paradise, known for its great waterfowl hunting and fishing, accounts for 40% of the total wetlands in the U.S. But sadly, it also accounts for 80% of the nation's wetlands loss. Learn more about why this is happening and how we can reconnect the river with its wetlands to save this vanishing paradise by visiting vanishingparadise.org.
Coming up on Sporting Dog Adventures, we wrap up our sunrise mallard hunt with a bang.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for your chance to win a puppy from Soggy Acres Retrievers and other great prizes from our sponsors.
Sporting Dog Adventures is brought to you by Cabela's, Heavy Shot, Hadel's Game Calls, Conquest Scent Sticks, High Vis, Liberty Safe, Headwater Seat Covers, Mr. Lid, Mobile Strong, Paw Print Genetics, the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism, Vanishing Paradise, Pheasants Forever, and Soggy Acres Retrievers. This product review is brought to you by the Outdoor Hub. This week's product review is on High Vis. They have a great line of sights for handguns and shotguns. Now, the cool part about this is I have this sight here that I actually installed. Very quick, very easy to do. One screw, you take your old sight off, and then you put this one on. Install your light pipe, and you actually have multiple colors you can choose. Or you can go to the Magna Hunter line, which is a sight that fits right in the rib of your gun. The sight itself helps because when you pull up, it keeps you from being cross-eye dominant, but also ensures that you keep your cheek down on the stock. It helps me stay on target, helps me follow my target, and ultimately take more game. Take it from me and the dogs, my shooting has improved when I started using high vis sights. We had a great morning, but it was time to tally up the birds because we knew we were getting really close to our limit. We need our last duck. Smoke 'em. Full. Bump. Our crew was in high spirits after the hunt.
Yeah! Whoa!
The experience was memorable as we had a beautiful backdrop, 2 young dogs that I had trained, and a group of great guys. Watching one of our pups in the field on his first trip, after getting him ready, makes me happy, and I'm sure Mike is excited for the seasons to come with his dog Castle. Hey, we're at the end of a great hunt. We shot 40 mallards. We've got our limit of 24 here. The other 2 guys went out scouting. We also shot 7 geese. Guys, what do you think? Southern Saskatchewan?
Excellent. Awesome.
This was one of the most fun hunts I've ever had. We actually shooed the birds up this morning, got them up in the air, we got set up, and then we just waited for them to come back. They had been feeding in this area, that's why they're all roosted on these ponds. We thought we were gonna see a few more geese, but still got 7, but man, the mallards were just pouring in. Now the fun part comes, it's cleanup. cleaning birds. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. Stay tuned for next week's High Flying Adventures. Next week on Sporting Dog Adventures, we have a father-son big game showdown in 2 different states. I head to Illinois for a deer hunt, while my sons, Clayton and Cole, are in Wisconsin for the Youth Deer Weekend. We also get to see Rommel in action on a spring shed hunt. It's an action-packed show next week on Sporting Dog Adventures. Closed captioning provided by Hadel's Game Calls.
Are you looking for a puppy? Chocolate black or yellow?
Contact Soggy Acres Retrievers at soggyacres.com.
Everything you need is here under the sun.